Welcome, my name is Daniela Anu, the book creative, and in today's class, I'm going to teach you how I did this magical book here, the secrets I used, and how you can replicate them for your other book. First of all, I want to announce that it's important that you do try to replicate these designs. It's very important so that you can be a better version of yourself. It's not just watching this video first. It's not just watching the video, is implementing it. That's how you know that you have learned it. And I always encourage people that they should I'd always encourage people that you do as I do. But in as much as you're doing as I do, there is something that you have to understand, which are in the statements of what I'm saying. So you don't want to miss it. So the first thing to do is to do your research. I think I said that in class, for those that were in class. And by the way, if you're not following me, follow me on Twitter, because I'll be sharing some massive updates. Follow me on Twitter and follow me. My name is the book creative, Eniola Anu 1. I do. So the first thing you want to do is your research. So where I get my research from is called Image Search, which is an app, or Pinterest. So you have different design inspiration. Now, the difference between a general cookbook and one that is unique is just time. The time research for one is different from the other. So there are different levels of book design. There is just the general type of book design. There is the unique one, and there is the more unique. There are some designs when you see like this, you know, this person finished work. Do you get? So the way that someone that will charge 1,000 naira for a design, another person will charge 5k, another person will charge 100,000. Is it not design? What you are paying is the person's expertise. And so I'm about to teach you this expertise for free here. Like, look at this, how beautiful this and amazing this cover design is now. So after I've done my research, since I've done this design, I had my the sample I wanted to use, which was it a cookbook? It wasn't even a cookbook design inspiration I used. So sometimes the design inspiration you get may not even be a cookbook. Do you get? Sometimes you just merge 2 ideas together, 3 ideas together, and you come up with something new. And so the first thing I did is to get my research. I got my research of the color, of the style, and like a tailor, a fashion designer, I fashioned this design, which is what I'm about to teach you in this. So let's move straight to color. Eniola, which color should I use? How will I know the kind of color that suits? Now, I told you that in this video, my goal is not just to teach you how I did this one, but teach you the secrets and the strategies that I implemented that gave me this one, so that you can always do it again and again. You know, there's one thing to give a person a fish when he's hungry, or teach the person how to fish. Now, when you are teaching a person how to fish, it looks longer, the time takes longer, but you know that what you're giving the person is more everlasting than just giving the person a temporary solution. So in this video, I want to give you a permanent solution, and if you implement everything I've said, you are going to enjoy yourself and thank me later. Anyway, when your money start coming in, make sure you come and pay your tithe. So another thing I'll ask is that we need Canva Premium to be able to enjoy these designs, because some tools are Canva Premium based. Now, if you want to get the Canva Premium, it's just 3,000 naira for 1 year subscription. But here's the catch: when you get the book design course, which is 5,000 naira for now, you do not just get the Canva Premium for free for 1 year. For 1 year, you also get how to do your interior covers. It's something that we are uploading soon. also know how to do your A plus content. You also know how to do different cookbooks, different self-help book, different genres of book in different styles, both in Canva or in Pixel Lab. So is that not amazing? And many more. You also have a mentorship group of, I think we'll be close to 1,000 now. And when you do your design, just send it to the group and we would help you to critique it with love. Now let's go to where we are about. So if you want to get the call, just send me a DM on WhatsApp, send me a DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and I've got you covered. So in our color, I've done my research. Whenever you want to choose a color, always do your research. How do you do your research, Eniola? You do your research by looking at book covers that you find appealing or you want to use for that kind of genre. Remember, it's what we call customers experience, customers journey. Your font, your image, your style, your text font, your everything must take, the goal of everything must be in sync to get the buyer or the your audience to buy. Now if you go and use a font that does not go in hand with the color, does not go in hand with the image, does not go in hand with the texture, you are going to mislead your customers. That's why you see some people, you see their design, it seems that something is not wrong for in their eye, but if you give it to a design specialist like me or a design doctor like me to critique that design, I can be able to identify this problem or that problem. So you want to listen to the end. Whether you're watching this from my YouTube or wherever, make sure you follow me. So that's the first thing you do. So I did my research. I wanted it to be plain and texture like this. So there are various ways you can do that. Sometimes you get the design first from Pinterest or wherever, and sometimes you can create it from scratch. In this video I'm going to be creating it from scratch by combining color and texture. Sometimes you don't need to combine color and texture, you just need to use only texture. Some persons don't understand what I'm saying, but that's why you need to watch till the end. So I had done my own research, right? And I came up with that color that I used. So the first thing first is that you want to do your research of the color. Now, which color is suitable for which? Green, white, blue at times. There are different kinds of blue. But if you don't even know the texture, you can always pick it. Let's say this is our design inspiration. You can always pick the colors using your color picker. Let me see if I can have one design from my gallery. By the way, I'm going to delete everything that is here. Use your color picker. Now you have a design you want to do. Use your color picker. So let's go to gallery. Under Pinterest. The two inspirations I used in this video. I used this. This was my design inspiration color, and this. Yes, this is what I used. How did you turn this? Just watch. So like I said, now it's not any kind of green you can use. It's not any kind of green. The first secret you want to know is that I prefer using gradient green. What is gradient colors? Gradient colors, go to color. It's a combination of two colors of the same genre. Let's say green, light and dark green. You can see gradient. So I love using them for my background. And once you click on that gradient, you can go here, then you can style it central. I think we should even do this thing in blue. What do you think? Let's do it in blue this time around. So there are times that you can just get a straight color from Canva, and at times you don't get. Now once you click on it, you see different color codes. That's why you need to follow me on Twitter. It's not all green you can use, my brother. It's not all green you can use, my sister. It's not all blues. How do you know they want to do? You do your research. Sometimes you can do permutation and combination if it works for you. Now you can go to two cookbooks. You feel that their color green is appealing to you and is appealing to the message you want to pass across. It's not just beauty. Is it appealing to the message you want to pass across? When you see that it's appealing to the message you want to pass across, you can combine it, a deep green and a blue, a deep green and a light green. And please, I want you to take note of something. The deep part is always here at the right hand side, while the bright part is always here. If you mistakenly interchange it, you are going to mistakenly confuse your audience. Can you see? So please take note. We can always adjust this. Like I said, it's not any kind of blue. Imagine this kind of blue. It's still blue now. Is this not still blue? Is this not still blue? You cannot just use. You have to look for the blue or the color that is appealing to your message, to your audience, to the image. Sometimes you have to judge when you want to design, except you don't want to do a good job. And once you take your time to design a particular cover, I said that you can use it as a template to always do other covers. You can make money from it by doing other covers for people. You can make money from it by publishing on your Amazon to make something better for yourself, and you are good to go. So we are here. I hope so far you have understood this class. So the last one we did was green, so we decided to move to blue. Now after that, let's see, but I've given you when you go to my Twitter page, I'm going to write some specific gradient colors of blue that you can use. I want you to bookmark that tweet. I want you to share it to your friends. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to do for cookbooks, for self-help books, for whichever kinds of books. So I'm going to also help. I think I should also do it in a free guide and send it to your email. So I will just do for cookbook. Then if you want for other genres, you just subscribe to my email via my Twitter. Then you get other ones so that you can use these colors. So you will know that you have saved yourself some stress of color. So I'm doing the work for you free of charge. Go and buy my course. So how did we use this one? Cover it. So once you have covered it, then there's something called edit effects on Canva. can see this duo too. Now you can see different kinds of styles. You can change the color, but let's use this, and you can adjust it. Can you see that once you click on it again, you can adjust it to the choice of blue? But let's leave it here and let's see whether it will give us the kind of feel we want and the kind of beauty we want. So you go to transparency and reduce the transparency. Yep. Let's take it to the back. I'm still going to adjust it if it's not what I want. It's not bad, but I still feel I want this our major background color a little bit brighter, so I can adjust it. You can add more colors, but you don't need it. I don't know if I can always increase the I think this is fine with me. 0759C7. Transparency 30. That's my choice here. You get. So here is what we have. So the next thing here is our image. Now, you know, we've talked about color and I've talked extensively on color. The next thing is your image. Biko, Jo, I don't know the Hausa one. Whenever you are doing your image, you must make sure that you use images that are unique. Now, there is what you call prompting in Canva. You will see that I will design on Canva, you will design on Canva, will not use the same image, and you'll be asking me, Eniola, how did you get your image and where did you get it from? It's still the same Canva. And you'll be asking yourself, now the same Canva I use, now the same way they use, yes. So what did I do differently is what I'm about to show you. That's what this class is all about. So the goal is not you designing like Eniola, is eating Eniola's secret. So you want to have a plate of food. Many people would take an image, bleach it. Many people, I know that I'm talking to you, you are here. Many people will take an image, remove the background and just dump it on the design, making the design look tasteless, making the design look blurred. These are these little secrets. You need quality. So I'm going to show you two different things in prompting. Now, I want a design or I want an image. I'm going to, irrespective of the shoes you are, I'm going to correct you here. So you want to be detailed when you are prompting. I want a food. Now, a food inside a plate. Tell Canva you don't just want a food. Tell him you want a food inside a plate. In fact, go to the extreme of telling him you want it in a white plate. So it will begin to seek images based on that specification than you just saying a general word food. Now this is the same principle that happens with AI. Still the same principle that happens with Canva. All of them, they are still AI. So food, but you know the food we are talking about is vegan. Don't forget, not that you go and put vegan food that is not vegan in a vegan cookbook. Don't forget. So there are different kinds of vegan. So my kind of vegan is not strict vegan, so they still eat egg. food with plates. But in case you don't want that one, you can always look for something food on plates, on white plates. The goal is that the message, everything is called customer's journey. Food on white plate. Sometimes you can even say vegetable food on white plates, vegan food on white plates, and stuff like that. So you see different ones that you can see here under your photos. Can you see? So I can just go straight to photos from here and get whatever I want. Now I don't like using this image because it's a very common image, but if you don't mind, it's also fine. These are images you can use, but the one I love using is, let me find it, this one. Let's see whether it's going to suit, it's going to fit, because now our book cover is no longer green, it is now blue. So I told you it must fit. There are some images that will be very beautiful here, but are not beautiful for your book. They don't just fit, and some people will be so stuck on it to use it. You don't do that. It's a sin in the law of design. Yes, it's still going to make sense. And you see that they've applied shadow for me. But what of a case that they did not apply shadow for me, Eniola? I would also address your issue. Now let's say that the image you saw is under photos. They've not removed the background, like something like this. Now this one, they've removed the background. I'm looking for a perfect image we can use. Let's say this kind of design style. If you remove the background, which you cannot do if you don't have the Canva Premium, let me just save you the stress. So go and buy the course. Go under effect. No. BG remover. You can see the crown on it, which makes it look premium. But some persons will just put this design like this. Now can you compare this design and this design? Is it the same thing? Imagine I'm your customer. I saw a design that looks like it, that looks real. You want to be close to your audience reality. That's the goal of your cover, is to be in their reality. How will their kitchen look like? How will their food look like? That's why it's called customer's journey. You want to take them from just having a picture to imagining them cooking the same meal in their kitchen. So you just putting this like this doesn't bring life and hope. So what do you do in such case? Click on it, go to effect. Go to effect again, you'll see shadow. Apply the drop shadow. Can you see? And you can always adjust it if you click on it again. So you see, this is more alive, but I won't use this one because it's dark. I told you customer's journey is very important. This was the inspiration I used. It doesn't look anything near my original design, so you can see that's what creativity is all about. So the next thing we want to do is to write the font. It's to write the text. So we've talked about color, we've talked about image. The next is text. When you're writing your title, it's advisable you use add a heading, and the kind of font you use also matters. You can't just use anyhow font. There's something I sell, vegan. It's called the font guide. It has about 2,000 fonts of what you can, and we categorize them for you. Let's say for cookbook, you don't know the kinds of fonts to use. We have already classified under cookbook. We have classified like 50 different kinds of fonts, both for your title, subtitle, and we have given you. So you don't need to give yourself headache on what kind of font will I use. But in this free video, I'll give you free of charge a general font which is called CMF serif. But I didn't use it in this design. It's not all the time you use it. So I used an italics font. I also said that there's a difference between serif, sans serif, and italics, and how you use them matter. The goal is that everything are in line with your customer's journey. So I arrange this font in such a way that it looks creative. Do you get? Some persons will just write their font straight, gbadaga, like this, figure 1. No life, no style, and they expect to sell. I don't know how that is possible. Even though miracle no dey tire Jesus, but not in this case. There are principles. So if you want, how do I arrange my font, Eniola? It's still going back to your research. If you don't know how to do paparazzi, you can go with study the design inspiration you are using and follow how they did it. You can get your font style inspiration from a different cover and use another cover to get the images inspiration. That's what creativity is all about. Stop doing lazy work. So I decided not to write these fonts straight, like the whole vegan stuff, because I wanted to attract the attention of my audience. I want to attract their attention. So I know that if my title is quite big, it will also attract them. That does not mean you should make it over big. That's why I also style this in a creative way. So sometimes like I said, you want to do your arrangement of font, just go and study other designs. If you see a design you love, download it, screenshot it. It's not necessarily you need it now. So I've done mine, and I'm going to change the font. I'm not using serif, sans serif, but I'm using italics. I just know the. Alright. CMU serif. It's not in all cases that this one works. There are some letters you use it to look like normal Roman numeral. I don't like using Time New Roman for my fonts, especially the title, the big title. So I use regular brush here, but I'm not using green, because now some people will go and use green. If you use green, you have disobeyed the law of colors. Your color must be appealing. I told you it's a customer's journey. So I don't want to I tilt it. I make it big. This is not a creative way of doing it. I will make this a little bolder. Adjust it. Than just writing it straight up. Sometimes if you use capital letter, it will not go. Sometimes you have to check it again. How will it look like when I use small letters? How will it look like when I use small letters and capital letters combined? There are sometimes you use capital letters and small letters combined. You have to check these things. But I've already told you the lazy man way. If you know you are lazy, is to follow those who through patient I've obtained the promise. That's what you should do. While I'm adjusting this, another thing you should take note is that how many fonts should you use? Some people, the font they will use, they'll use rainbows of colors of fonts. You don't do that. These are the laws you are not fulfilling. The maximum font you should use is 3, and that's if you are an expert. If you are not an expert, you just use 1. Even me here, I'm just using only 2. Minimum of 2. For you, I won't recommend that a minimum of 1, a maximum of 2. I'm going to reduce the size a little bit so that it covers the space, yet it is quite visible. Can you see? Cookbook, depending on the name of your adjust it. Let's see what will happen if we increase it. Now, I usually don't actually like when there's too much of space, so we'll cover it with some design doodles. But can you see what we're talking about? And another thing I want you to take note is that it's not necessarily you always write your author's name up or down. They don't know you, except you're a brand. Do you get? It's not your name they want to buy, except you have bought their trust. So you can design your name depending on the style you design, front here, sometimes here, just making it quite creative.